How can Krishna consciousness be non-sectarian? By Krishna's mercy. एक देश स्थितस्याग्नेर ज्योत्स्ना विस्तारिणी यथा परस्य ब्रह्मणः शक्तिस् तथेदम akhilam jagat. Quote, everything that is manifested within this cosmic world is but the energy of the Supreme Lord. As fire emanating from one place diffuses its illumination and heat all around, so the Lord, although situated in one place in the spiritual world, manifests his different energies everywhere. Indeed, the whole cosmic creation is composed of different manifestations of his energy. Vishnu Purana 1:22-52.
Can you stop with the non-sectarian nonsense, please? Everyone knows that Krishna is associated with Hinduism. Okay, people might not know what that term really means. I mean, even people who identify with that denomination or religion or culture do not really know what it means. But there is still this distinct aspect of religious life, a kind of faith, if you will, that Krishna is a part of. Therefore, when you try to tell people that Krishna consciousness does not involve sectarian designations, you are not being honest. It is some appeal to higher sensibilities, to avoid offending, to try to bring more people into the mix. You want to give them an opportunity to hear. I get it. I am not against people following Krishna consciousness. But why should we be afraid of what other people think? Why not give it to them straight? Why try to redefine the terms when the lexicon is already established?
It cannot be denied that Sri Krishna, as a personality found within documented history, appeared in a certain region of the world. His Leela, his activities, occurred across a specific area of land. The people at the time knew the Sanskrit language, the Sanskrit culture, the Sanskrit rituals, and the Sanskrit objectives. While people do not speak Sanskrit in a general conversation today, that specific culture is distinct from others. In this regard, we can describe Krishna consciousness as a sect. We can take the entirety of Vedic culture as a single object for analysis, to be distinct from others. Sort of like a group that eats certain kinds of food, follows certain habits, has certain understandings about the future and the past, and seeks a certain kind of objective. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Prabhupada truthfully explains that Krishna consciousness is non-sectarian from the angle of exclusivity. It is not that a person must follow the son of Devaki or be left out of the benefits to be extracted from the life experience. As the pricking of a pin can be felt by every person, irrespective of the language they speak and the religion they follow, so the culture of understanding and connecting with the Supreme Personality of Godhead applies to everyone. Krishna consciousness has accompanying principles. These can be described as scientific in nature, as no sane person would argue that the law of gravity is sectarian, so the truths of the transmigration of the spirit soul, the various material elements and the impact they have, the different modes of nature, the changing of the seasons, the flow from desire to wrath, and the continued existence of the imperishable spirit are not specific to any sect or system of belief. They apply to any person in every species. They are as universal as Brahman, which is like a fire distributing its heat and light across a wider area. It is necessary to explain the lack of sectarian requirement precisely because that has come to be the expectation with religion. Follow my way or take the highway. You are either saved by accepting a certain savior or eternally condemned. You have no other choice. Better not make the mistake now, because you will have no chance to recover from it. Bhut gramah sa evayam bhutva bhutva praliyate ratrya agame vashah parth prabhavatya ahar agame. Quote, again and again the day comes, and this host of beings is active, and again the night falls, O Partha, and they are helplessly dissolved. Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita 8:19. The culture of Krishna consciousness explains that the living beings can remain in the manifest temporary world for as long as they want, across billions of years. This is the real understanding of time in terms of the life of the Creator, Lord Brahma. This truth aligns with the eternal nature of spirit, which can never be killed. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतो यं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरी. Quote, "For the soul there is never birth nor death, nor having once been does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever-existing, undying, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain." Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita 2:20. Any honest person can accept this information and deliberate upon it. They are not required to renounce their religious affiliation. They can maintain their existing allegiances. Only the less intelligent would impose strict barriers upon exercising the brain in thinking over the meaning to life. At the very least, we sacrifice some time to hear the science presented to us from an authority source and reach our own conclusion. This is, in fact, the way followed by the disciple described in the principal sacred text of Krishna consciousness. Arjuna hears the science of self-realization, Sanatana Dharma, from Sri Krishna. Prior to that conversation, Arjuna has every justification for following blindly. He can be aligned with Krishna and not have to worry about reactions to neglecting other, narrower definitions of Dharma. Itite jnanam akyatam, guhyad guhyataram maya, vimrishyetad asheshena, yathechhasi tatha kuru. Quote, "Thus I have explained to you the most confidential of all knowledge. Deliberate on this fully, and then do what you wish to do." Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita 18:63. Still, Arjuna has a choice. He can take time to consider the matter. He can process the information. This is the same for every individual. They can choose dharma or succumb to illusion, falling into adharma. As dharma is what really lights up the individual, in terms of their true meaning to life, the wise will always follow dharma and encourage others to follow it as well. In closing, a contradiction to detect when not considering as sect, Krishna consciousness to explain, but eligible all to attain, without renouncing religion to require, principles every mind to inspire, not necessary for Arjuna to force, deliberate and decide in due course.